just checked out the Knights of King Frea. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friend Lucy.
Hey.
And we got another special Kickstarter Thoughts from the Corner. We're very excited to be talking about the Knights of King Frea from King Frea Games. This is for 1 to 6 players. Take you about 20 to 40 minutes to play, and it's for ages 14 plus. We have the prototype in front of us, so everything you see here, take with a grain of salt. But in the Knights of King Frea, I believe this is a ladder-style game where on most turns, you're going to be playing one of these energy cards right here. Now, there's going to be a discard pile, and you're either going to have to play going up or going down, and that will change throughout the game. If you ever played Flux, it has a Flux-esque
type rule set.
Yeah.
But like a little more structured.
Yes. So at the beginning of the game, there's going to be a red card out, there's going to be a green card out, and then there's going to be a blank purple card out. And you're also at the beginning of the game going to get some spells. And so you can play spells that will replace these or that will change these. And these will impact the rules of the game. They'll impact, one can make it reverse, so it goes clockwise to counterclockwise, permanent rules, one-time rules. It does a couple different things like that.
The point of the game is to get the most, best victory points or like reputation? Or...
Yeah, reputation. So essentially you're trying to date one of the king's kids and you're trying to get the most reputation. Honestly, the theme is there, but it's not a heavily thematic game. It's mostly about the gameplay, which is really quite simple. On your turn, most of the time, you're going to play one of these cards down in a ladder-style format. If your card is there when it gets back to your turn, then you are going to get a gold coin and an additional spell, which will once again let you modify the rules of the game. But the big crux of the game and the way you're going to score points and end the game are completing a whole boatload of these challenge cards. And these will have you discarding numbered card. They'll have
like
you...
a Don Quixote style of just like you can see right here, like defeat the dragon, which is like a little windmill picture right here.
Well, they all say defeat the dragon. I think that's early artwork. I think they have different artwork. But the text on the bottom of all the cards is different. So it'll say like discard 2 odd cards from your hand or a pair of odds. And then you'll get this card, which will be victory points. But also this will be one of the triggers to the end of the game. Because if you have 4 of these cards completed, then the game will pretty much end after the next round.
And the interesting part about this also is like when you're gonna be playing these cards on your turn, but you complete these like quests and goals off your turn.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the thoughts because that's a whole interesting. But yes, it is. This is a very hectic, free-form game because, as Lucy said, on your turn you can only do 1 of 3 very simple actions. You can pass, you can play, or if you're lucky, you can collect a reward. Those are your only choices. But then when it's not your turn. And I'd almost say you're almost more busy when it's not your turn than when it is your turn. Because you're looking at the cards in your hand, which will say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. But there's also community cards out there that anybody can get to. And so at that point, it becomes kind of a race. And that race is just amplified because you know that anyone could get it at any point, even when it's not their turn.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the basic synopsis of it. If you want to see exactly how the game's played, there will be a video up there you can click on. But this is our initial thoughts on it. So what were your initial thoughts on the Knights of King Frea?
Well, first impressions, like at first I probably like underestimated this game, but like the more I think about it, the more like surprisingly I am like liking this game more that I think about it because it's fun, it's active, like especially like off your turn. I'm not really waiting for people.
You are not waiting at all. In fact, it's kind of overwhelming because everyone's like, well, I did this on your turn, and you're like, well, I didn't do anything on my turn. Why did everybody else do cool stuff? Yeah. But I like that. It flew by. We thought our game might have been short, but no, it's 20 to 40 minutes, and this is going to be a snappy game.
Yeah.
Easy to learn, easy to teach. Good variety of the spell cards because that's really the crux of it. There's a lot of these spell cards, and they will modify the rules. They'll change things. Some of them are permanent, some of them are not. That's fun. I feel like there's a good deal of challenges, and there's a whole variety. Some will be like, you get rid of a reputation, you get this. Oh, but then it's kind of weird. There's just enough going on in this game because there's also the scoring at the end of the game. So there's something called a blind date, where at the end there's going to be some different scoring based on certain conditions.
Like end game scoring thing, where like sometimes you can even like lose victory points if you happen to have the most or something.
And yes, but most people will know that piece of information, but some people won't if they're not further on in the game.
Yeah, because it's a 1 to 6 player game, so.
Yeah, I also really dug this for what it was as well. I would rather play this over Flux. I think it slides into the filler weight category a little bit. I think when you're 5'6", that's probably when you dip into the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, I think this needs like a little more like just touching up. Like if this had like a little player reference card, I think it'd be like perfect.
Yeah, that'd be nice as well. Player reference card.
The rulebook was nice. had like a little bit of some hiccups, like looking up some stuff.
And this is all prototype, by the way.
Yeah, prototype.
Yeah. So,
But, like,
yeah,
just,
like,
like, a
your
little-
rulebook, I
like
bet
a-
that's what this is actually reserved for.
Yeah.
I bet they're going to have that where you can put the special information. If not, I'll tell them
or-
they should do that.
Yeah, because I mean, like a little bit, like just a little bit of tune-up or like clean up like little reference cards, and like it'd be perfect.
And the other thing is, with a player reference card, I imagine the next time you get it out of the box as well, it's going to be much easier to learn. Be like, oh yeah, the 3 actions you can do are
It's
this,
like
this,
on
that,
your
and the
turn,
other.
it's like this, and this, and then off your turn, you can do a whole bunch of these actions. Just like keep looking out and everything. Because you're active, like that's one of the few games like, that it's a filler weight game. That's like you're really active off your turn,
Yes.
more than so on your turn. You kind of almost have to kind of fight for your turn, which might be annoying for some people, I guess. But
It was. It's. I
don't
could
know
see
how
some
I
people not
was.
liking that.
Yeah, I don't know how I was because we played this like 3-player game for testing out for first impressions. Like I don't know how I was. Because I was just like, I'm doing this.
Honestly, I have no idea where you were too. Because I was just like, what am I gonna? Oh, I gotta do. What am I doing? I'm looking at my stuff, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people. Is that there's like very little. There's like next to no downtime in this.
Yeah.
Because even when you're looking out here, those are constantly getting replaced. You're like, oh, what's going on over here? I'd like to see the text on the card be a little bit bigger as well, a little bit bolder, but that's more minor nitpicks, so hopefully they fix that in post, because once
the
again...
art's not the best, but it's more of like a preference, really.
Well, I think this is prototypey. I think this
Yeah.
is all just filler artwork, but yeah.
But yeah, no, it was surprising. Like, it's one of the few games where, like, most of the time with games, like, the more I think about it, the more I dislike it. This is one of the few
True.
times of games where I'm like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I actually really enjoyed myself with this game.
Likewise, I think I could see this one slotting in as a regular filler weight game. I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
It did just enough to always keep you engaged, and it was over before...
Didn't
It
have
does
to
not
say
say it's
it's
welcome. Ah, jinx!
Yeah.
But there you go. That is the Knights of King Frea. If it looks like it might be a cup of tea, be sure to check out that Kickstarter link down below. Tell Bowers Game Corner Central. Also, in the comments below, let me know. If you were the king, what's the first weird rule you're making? That's just for you. You can do whatever you want. Your rule. You don't have to explain it to anybody.
I know. Everyone can take a vacation on Saturdays or something. Or,
Okay, everybody gets Saturday off?
yeah.
You're a nice ruler.
It probably caused, like, the whole chaos that, like, nothing's on. Like, no TV, no, like, toiletries or whatever. It caused a whole bunch of chaos, probably.
I would make a Hunger Games style situation where if you commit like a list of, say, like 5 crimes. There's like 5 crimes. The
Just
5
the purge.
Well, the worst
Just
5
the
crimes. We're going to
purge.
round up the worst 5 crimes. If you commit one of those crimes, then you get an opportunity to go to prison if you can survive a giant Hunger Games style thing. And here's the thing. We can build huge, elaborate set pieces where people can fight. This could be a great way to generate money
No.
for the government.
No.
Yeah. I'm the king. You don't have to explain myself.
The purge.
Let me know what's your first king rule. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
See ya.